Doncaster, South Yorkshire. Officers from the Yorkshire and the Humber Regional Roads Crime Team have stopped a car in a drugs hotspot.
I'm PC Sanderson, it's PC from Regional Roads Crime Team. Everything you say and do is being video recorded.
We've been informed there's a vehicle in this area linked to drug dealing. Looking into the vehicle in the centre console, you could see there was quite a large amount of cash in the vehicle, which pricks your ears up, makes you start wondering why is this amount of cash in.
Lads, just listening. Alright, how much money's there? Sorry? Right. Just to let you know, this is a hotspot for drug dealing.
And you can see from the headcam footage that the passenger is very, very nervous.
Just want to jump out first. Got anything in your pockets? Just stand over it.
The information what we've got is that the lad in the passenger seat is a known drug user.
Guys, just to be aware, the passenger is currently on licence for burglary and drugs offences. If he gets caught with anything, he's going to be going back to prison, so he ain't got out to lose.
It ups the ante. If there are drugs in the vehicle, then he doesn't want to get arrested for it, because potentially he's going to go back to prison.
More than a quarter of offenders commit at least 2 or more crimes within a year of release from jail.
Once we've got him out of the vehicle, I've checked the glove box, I've checked the footwell, and then I've checked down the side of the seat, and that's where I've pulled the small package out. I suspected it to be a Class A controlled drug.
Put your hands up, fella.
Right, you're both under arrest for possession of Class A controlled drugs.
Jump out for us and we'll give you a quick search.
At the police station, no further action was taken against the driver. On the passenger, the cops found 8 deals of heroin and he was sent to jail for 18 months. Since the Regional Roads Crime Team was set up in 2008, drug seizures in Yorkshire and Humberside have risen by nearly a quarter to more than 16,000 last year.
Predominantly the people we target are into drug supply, drug use. It blights people's lives.
Huddersfield, West Yorkshire, 7:30 p.m. PC's Matt Fleming and Wayne Sanderson are in one of the team's unmarked cars.
Bit of a slow day in Huddersfield, just scouting about really. Your average street, Huddersfield town centre, and just happened to look right, to be honest. Immediately stood out this BMW.
The in-car computer is linked directly to the police national database, which holds intelligence on cars and their owners.
Attention. It's even got a marker on it. There was police information on the vehicle, linking it to drugs and drug supply. As soon as we got behind the car, very strong smell of cannabis. Obviously sensors starting to get a little bit heightened, trying to see who's in the vehicle.
You got some power if he goes.
A vehicle like this is one that is, could cause us some problems if it did fail to stop. It's a high performance vehicle.
Guys, is there anybody Huddersfield town centre? There's a drugs marker, smell of cannabis. It's likely to fail to stop. Is there anyone nearby, please?
We do work best as a pack, so try to get obviously units towards us, just in case it did fail to stop. Just looking to get it stopped as soon as possible. I had that gut feeling the vehicle was going to go.
Right, get
Ready?
ready.
Yeah. He's had plenty of time to know that we were there. You know, there's a car behind him, blue light, sirens on.
Guys, this is now a fail to stop.
Surprisingly, it did come to a stop within a fairly short distance. Obviously, position the car in front of it to reduce that risk of it continuing on its way.
Open the door! Open the door! Right, turn the engine.
Scared me, man.
Scared you?
When he's opened the door, I was quite shocked to see there was a 2-year-old girl actually sat in the front passenger seat. You're thinking, you know, you're driving like that, you've got your 2-year-old daughter in the car, and you're driving like a complete and utter idiot.
Smell cannabis from the vehicle. Is it any drugs on you?
With a child in the passenger seat, the cops proceed with caution.
Are you known to us at all, pal?
Yeah, I am, yeah. Pardon?
What are you known to us for?
All sorts.
All sorts.
Yeah.
Recent?
Recent, yeah, kind of recent, yeah.
Okay. What, days, weeks, months, years?
I've just got off, just got a suspended sentence.
Right, what was the offence? Drugs?
Yeah.
Cannabis?
Cannabis, yeah.
Right. So there's a smell in the car.
Yeah,
So if there's a bag or like that, then obviously be telling us now. All right. It smells of cannabis in the car. Okay. So if
How much is here?
The man has £325 on him.
We've got him on suspicion of money laundering, possession of criminal property. End of the day, it's only £300, but it's the fact he's got £300 he can't really account for, and also the little bit of intelligence we already hold on this particular person. It's the whole package that led me to make the arrest.
You want it here or taking him in?
they're coming to us, so we'll take him back.
You're going to take me back where?
More than likely the police station, mate, but
What for?
for a strip search. I can't strip here.
Can't do that. He doesn't want to go back to the police station for a strip search, and again, he's pleading with us. You know, he'll say, "I'll strip off at the side of the road." We can't do that. We can't allow people to get undressed at the side of the road.
Backup has arrived to look after the suspect's child.
Obviously, you've got your little one here, so we're going to make sure she's safe and well. She's going to stay in car with an officer. Officer will drive this. We'll all go down to the police station. We'll search you. If that's negative, then we'll go from there. At the end of the day, mate, she's not got a child seat in this car, which is obviously an offence. We've not got child seats in our car, so we're going to have to deal with it the easiest way we can. The car's not been searched at all yet.
That's what you said.
He was placed in the handcuffs and taken in for the search at the police station.
Hello? Daddy's in the other car behind us.
Unfortunately, she will have to come with us as well. We can't let anybody know that he's been stopped and that he's going to be searched. If we contact somebody and say, well, can you come and pick his daughter up, they could get rid of property, such as drugs, cash or mobile phones.
While his child is looked after by other officers, Matt and Wayne want to search the man.
You're always hoping to find something, and you know, if we do, that gives us the next step to actually go on and do house searches and get into these people's properties, get into their lifestyle and see how they live.
He will remain in custody while the cops continue their investigation. In Huddersfield, the search of the man arrested with his child has revealed no drugs on him or in the car.
I honestly thought we'd go into that cell and something would drop to the floor and we'd have our arrest, straight and simple. I was faced with a bit of a judgment call, really. Do I potentially go a little bit further?
You've been arrested, so we can speak to you. So have a seat.
His arrest means the cops can keep him detained and search any properties linked to him.
We can make an arrest on suspicion of money laundering, on suspicion of drug dealing. Did some research and found several addresses that this guy was linked to. Whilst we're in the holding area, colleagues are making inquiries in relation to connected addresses.
2 miles away, a search team arrive at a house linked to him, an address where he's registered on the electoral roll. The team is wearing headcams. Behind the door, they make a remarkable discovery.
The headcams are useful. What's potentially hard to say in words is easily put across in a very short amount of time in video.
There are up to 70 cannabis plants. Police estimate a farm on this scale can generate an annual turnover of up to £100,000. It's a sophisticated setup using some high-powered lighting and air conditioning.
There was definitely a smile hearing on the earpiece that a cannabis factory had been found.
Downstairs, the cops have detained a man living at the address.
Everything that you say and do is being recorded. I've got a power under Section 18 of Police and Criminal Evidence Act to search your premises.
I know you are.
Okay? For a gentleman that's been locked up.
The lad hangs around across the road.
So, He's on the electoral roll as being registered at this address. So it gives us the power to obviously search this premises. Okay. I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of production of cannabis. Alright. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioned something which will later align in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand everything that I've said to you there? Marvellous.
It becomes clear that the man they have at the police station no longer lives there and has nothing to do with the cannabis farm.
Well, so many people are going to get hurt through something that's never harmed anyone. Kids, adults, children alike. Police wasting money on it really doesn't matter. When there's paedophiles, murderers and rapists out there and you come and arrest the flower-growing hippie.
Ultimately, you know, what can he say? It's in his house, it's in his bedroom, you know, it's in his downstairs hallway or under his stairs, so there's not a lot he can say really, is there? Other than, yeah, it's mine.
Homegrown cannabis production has more than doubled in the last 5 years.
Put your belt on.
In 2012, nearly 8,000 cannabis farms were found by police.
It's more organised than it was before, by either using intimidation tactics or by paying people to make use of space in terrace houses. It's going to make it difficult for us to find.
Cannabis cultivation on this scale can carry a prison sentence of up to 7 years. Back at the police station, because there is no evidence against him, the man arrested earlier with his child is free to go. And they've arranged for his daughter to be dropped home.
At the end of the day, we've got a duty of care to her, but we've also got a duty to detect and investigate crime, so it's balancing that.
You okay?
Annie Meanwell. But again, bearing in mind that he's a 2-year-old kid and we need to do something with her and keep her safe as a priority.
It's PC Fleming from West Yorkshire Police. Nothing to worry about at all.
So we've made several calls to try and get the 2-year-old back to her mum.
Is that your mummy?
But when we did manage to track mum down, it was quite an emotional reunion, really.
Oh, there we go, big girl.
Bit of a shock, Jesse. Honestly,
She's fine.
She's had a McDonald's and she's obviously safe and well.
You know you've got a job to do at the end of the day, and unfortunately, there's a child involved in this instance.
Nothing's happened to her this evening. She's not been involved in any way.
She was never put in any danger or exposed to anything what she shouldn't have been exposed to.
With the child reunited with her mother and her father released without charge, Matt and Wayne can begin to help with a new investigation, the search of the cannabis farm.
You got any gloves? Have you got any gloves? In fact, I've got some. Could have been any house, anywhere. Certainly no smell of cannabis. As you walked through that front door, I honestly thought we'd got the wrong house.
Can't get down.
Nice one. This was utter elation, to be honest. We've got at least, say, 50-70 plants in the late stages of growth, sat in the bedroom in the average house. It's bunting on the fencing outside. It's nondescript terrace house, and the inside is a drugs factory. It's a cracking result, and hopefully has a significant impact on that area.
In another room, there's evidence that he could be selling it.
Some more cannabis. Obviously, there's the grow upstairs, but this looks like what is harvested and it's all individual bagged up, ready to go. Evidence of his scales to weigh it out, and more clear plastic bags to put it in.
I think when I first joined, you expect to fix the world in a day, if I'm honest, and you think you go out there, everything can be sorted, and you can go home happy. In reality, it doesn't work like that. It's almost keeping a lid on what's out there, which is what I'm here to do.
A closer inspection of some of the bags at the police station reveals further proof the suspect is dealing drugs in the area.
Obviously, when we've done the house search, what we've got is a black carry bag from the kitchen. In that, it's got a large bag containing cannabis buds. There's quite a lot in there. We've got a set of scales. We've got some dealer bags. We've also got some resin as you can see, which is not very often you get hold of the resin these days. We've also got these are basically the ends of...
And the suspect caught growing cannabis in Huddersfield was given a total of 2 years and 7 months imprisonment for production and supply. No action was taken against the man who was previously registered at the address. In South Wales, drug crime figures are rocketing. That may seem like bad news, but according to the police, it's a measure of the success they're having in the war on drugs. They've stepped up the fight by targeting the dealers with special cops in unmarked police cars. PC Buster Beckett and his partner PC Richie Morgan are the Interceptors.
Try and do it.
Prowling the motorways around Swansea, cutting off the city's supply of drugs.
Back behind that wall, mate. Back behind that wall.
They take the mission to push up the figures personally.
I feel quite strongly that drugs in the South Wales area plays a large part in organised crime, and if we can target and deal with that type of criminal, then other levels of crime will fall.
The Interceptors are in position on an M4 slip road to look out for a black Ford Escort coming their way.
And lo and behold, the car drove past us.
The car belongs to a dealer who's on his way home from picking up a consignment of drugs.
We then requested some assistance from a marked unit.
What is the call, please?
Which was another roads policing unit. And Laura was happy to give us some assistance.
If the dealer makes a run for it, it'll be Laura's job to catch him, but she's still some way away.
I'll be on my way.
You don't have to go like stinking, you're attached to the incident anyway, so no problem.
I was 2 junctions away from the motorway, so once I had the call to go, I had to go and make ground pretty quick.
If you can, just keep your blues off on your progress.
You just got to try and get your way through traffic as safe as you can.
Just for information now, the vehicle is now moving to lane 1, speed 70. Lane 1 bust.
Yeah, parallel with the onset now. Just trying to just get there as quick as I can without making too much of a song and a dance about it.
Near side indication is off, Fabian Way. Slow down, bust.
And then as luck would have it, then he just turned off the motorway onto Fabian Way.
The marked car's not going to be needed to chase after the dealer. For some reason, he's stopping on his own accord.
Okay, Benny, bust. Make ground, Laura, make ground.
Perhaps he doesn't have any drugs after all. Or maybe he thinks they won't be found.
When the car stopped, I think our thoughts generally turned to the fact that was he aware that we were behind him? And if he was aware, was he doing something to get rid of that evidence that we were looking for?
The man's unlucky. He's been pulled by cops who know him and all his tricks.
If you've got someone who thinks there's a substantial amount of drugs in them, you've got to keep their hands by them, because the last thing you want is them chucking on a drain, over a hedge, into their mouth, put it in places he shouldn't put it.
The man is being handcuffed to make sure those places aren't accessible.
I'm going to take you to Neath Police Station, okay, for the purpose of a search under the Misuse of Drugs Act, okay? Okay, mate? All right? You're not going to be left alone. One of us will stay with you throughout the journey, okay? And everything will be kept sterile, okay? All right?
They were just speaking to the driver when I got there, just placing him in handcuffs, to keep his hands in sight. Didn't want him trying to discard anything or hurt them.
A favourite drug dealer's trick of the trade is to make sure a small amount of drugs is easy to find.
In the ashtray, the front ashtray of the car, you recover the glass pipe with a brown liquid.
Smoke and mirrors aren't enough to put the cops off the scent though. The car's going to be torn apart at the police station.
The car's going to come underneath, mate.
We wanted to get the dog to go into the car to check. You don't want a dog running around on a dual carriageway, so we took the car back to Neath.
PC Morgan knows only too well some of the dirty tricks drug dealers will stoop to.
I could smell excrement, and that led me to believe that he may have concealed some of the drugs within his person.
If he has, the man's in deep trouble.
We've had numerous cases where we've had to deal with people who've done that. I think they sometimes feel it's the safest way to transport a quantity of controlled drugs.
The drug dealer, arrested just off the M4, has already arrived at the police station in Swansea. He's awaiting his search.
We're taken down to cell 2. We're doing a search.
We searched him, couldn't find anything obvious on his person or his clothing. And in all fairness, he appeared quite calm.
But cops are still convinced the man's got hidden drugs. It could be a case of anal retention.
People tend to hide things in very strange places, so it's just in case, just to determine, because obviously once he's left alone in his cell, he then decides to unplug something and he could cause harm to himself. It's just to make sure he hasn't got anything and be quite thorough at that time as well.
We wanted to make sure 100% that his safety was considered first. There is a danger that obviously if those bags break within him, that presents a raft of problems. With that in mind, we took him to the local accident and emergency unit where they x-rayed him.
In Swansea, the cops' suspicion that the dealer had pulled the same disappearing trick has been proved wrong. The x-rays are negative.
I'd seen that he was quite calm and quite arrogant. It almost was a case that you haven't found what I've got.
The cops have called in an expert to look over the car. Noddy, the sniffer dog. They're desperate to get to the bottom of the matter.
Richie knew there was something there. He knew it.
Are we knackered on the engine? It's talked with.
Unfortunately, Noddy can't do under the bonnet just yet.
You can't put Noddy on the engine, it'll burn his paws.
But he's got his paws on something inside.
Find it. Good boy, Nod. Good boy, Noddy. Noddy's given an indication on an area just underneath the radio. In a recess there, we found a small tobacco tin with a lump of what we think is methamphetamine in there, plus a Stanley blade and other residue as well. So that with the foil in there that he's probably used to smoke it or whatever he's done with it. The dog's given me a cracking indication on it, so I'm happy that's why he was rewarded on it with his ball, and that's all he works for, is that.
It's not a large find. PC Morgan still isn't convinced.
I think my gut instinct led me to believe there may be more stuff hidden.
There is more stuff hidden.
That's a nice place.
But it's not drugs.
It's toothpick.
How much you got a big mouth? Big toothpick like that. You carry swords in your car, I don't. It's not. Obviously, these people carrying these drugs, they're frightened of the police catching them, but they're also frightened of being done over by other drug users. And the passenger seat of the vehicle. No, put that out. Put that.
To go with the drug dealer's toothpick, the drug dealer's phone.
The phone going. 31 missed calls. 31 missed calls.
Nice.
You get many calls in a month? The phone was ringing probably because I was using a convoy. Or he had his punters back where he was heading back to, wanting their drugs. There's everything on the streets at the moment, so heroin, cocaine, crack cocaine. Then you've got your amphet and your cannabis. Different drugs react differently in your body. Some will slow you down, some will speed you up. And it is a big problem in the area.
The thrill of a chase is often more about the result than the chase itself. In Swansea, now that nothing's been found on the drug dealer, the cops are more determined than ever to get a result.
That car wasn't going until the drugs were found. Door panels came off, the seats came up, everything came out. The pair of them, they're like a dog with a bone. They would not let it go. We knew there were drugs there, and it was finding out where.
In Swansea, they've been going over the drug dealer's car all night with a fine-toothed comb.
I think he felt confident and happy that he'd hidden it somewhere that we weren't going to find it. The determination level then was that, no, I will find it.
Was it?
And find it, PC Morgan has.
Yes! Yes! Get in there! I knew it was in there. Get in there!
A small package of hidden treasure in the engine bay. Missed by the dog because it had been too hot for him at the time.
Right, what we need to do now is get it scenes of crime and shot good and photographed in situ. Having spent so much time on that car looking for it, the elation was quite evident. And thankfully, at 1:45 we found it.
And see, he's so calm when we tell him. He may start sweating a bit. I think he thought he'd get away with it, didn't he?
Okay, well done, bud. Excellent. That's the only place I couldn't put the dog because the bastard thing was hot. How much do you find?
But just over a kilo.
It's genuine or we put him away?
No, genuine, it's not a kilo, it's just about, it's a sunglasses case, it is made full. Probably in the region of about 2.25 ounces, something like that. Perseverance and patience was worthwhile.
Ounce of heroin.
We're just taking a picture of those, not sure.
Yeah.
What we've been told it is an ounce, a brown ounce of rock. So it's not bad, isn't it? So it's probably about top line, probably about 11 grand. No, from both.
It's been a successful but long day and night for the Interceptors.
We were due to finish at 6 and we were still in work at 9 the following morning.
Christopher Smith, who they caught at the beginning of their shift and who helped them rack up their overtime, was jailed for 4 years for possession of heroin and crack cocaine with intent to supply and possession of an offensive weapon. 10 miles away, in Barry, PC Guest and PC Phil Dunning are trying to locate a colleague, not by the light of the silvery moon, but like everybody else, by sat-nav.
Snowdon Road, I think it's off Grand Avenue, I think, Snowdon Road. Our remit could take us from the furthest point east of the force to the furthest point west of the force at any time. So we've been given the sat-navs to assist us in that.
After 200 yards, sharp left.
There are a number of different languages you can put on the sat-nav, and I'd messed around with them, and we were using it to try and find him. You're in a tight-knit unit, and you've got to have a sense of humour to get you through the day. It doesn't hurt, does it? Have a laugh.
Their colleague, PC Burke, has pulled over a pizza delivery driver whom he saw throwing drugs out of his car window.
He went to stop a car and the guy chucked some ganja, as he called it, out of the car. He's recovered the ganja and he's got the guy in the back of the car, so he wants us to search the car.
In blue, you're not?
Yes.
Off to your destination.
I'll go into front of car.
Right, out comes torch.
The time now is...
Johnny Burke was in the marked car. He had a customer, we like to call them, in the back of his car, and he'd indicated to us that the car that was parked in front of him, he'd pulled it over and he'd recovered a small amount of cannabis. As he'd done so, something had been thrown from the window.
Something else is being tossed.
What was that?
Eggs. At the cops.
We initially thought that we were being stoned. Somebody in the vicinity wasn't happy about us being there.
They're not happy their takeaway's been held up.
I tell you, man. You found something else down there or not?
Yeah, but cannabis in exchange. We found a further quantity of cannabis.
He's delivering, is he?
What a cracking cover that is. Pizza delivery driver. And well, while you're doing the pizza rounds, well, why not buy a 14-inch pizza, and I'll have half a gram of your bestest herbal cannabis, please.
In euro, innit?
Oh dear.
Right, can you see this, mate? My colleague has just found out in your car. It's in wraps. Okay, it's 3 wraps here at the moment, yeah? And the fact I've already recovered this. Sorry.
Most cannabis or marijuana seized in South Wales is of the homegrown type.
Herbal cannabis is like the leaf and the bud, as opposed to the resin cannabis, which is a dark lump.
The amount found on him means the man's going to be arrested for dealing.
Yeah, you can't. No, you're not making any calls until you go booked in custody. Alright, and then we can sort out any calls, and your legal rights will be explained to you by the custody sergeant, right?
15 miles north in Bradford, 9:30 p.m. PC's Paul Feather and Lee Wellborn from the West Yorkshire Police Road Crime Team are patrolling a crime hotspot.
So we're down Harrogate Road in Bradford. Get a lot of stolen vehicles coming through this area, so it's a good place to go have a hunt about.
Outside London, Yorkshire has one of the highest rates of car crime in the UK. In 2012, there were more than 4,000 cars reported stolen in the West Yorkshire area.
Ford Focus had entered the roundabout a little bit quickly. As we looked across, the driver didn't really want to pay much attention to us because we were in the marked police vehicle. And I always find that a little bit suspicious when people don't look at you.
Not hanging about, is it?
Initially there was no reason to suspect that it wouldn't pull over and we just went for a routine stop. But it's continued and then it started to accelerate away and it's all started from that.
Got a silver Focus plus we're making off on Moorside Road, Fagley.
He's already sort of driving dangerously into him. The pursuit's only been running a matter of seconds, so it's quite clear he wants to get away.
Silver Focus. It's done a right. Throw some drugs out. Yes. Now Pollard Lane. It's just discarded some packages in the road. Pollard Lane.
He's a desperate man to get away from the police for whatever reason, and the reason we believed is that he'd thrown out some drugs.
Road. Speed 60 miles an hour. Traffic still light.
The risks of chasing offenders are high. An average of 5 accidents a day occur during police pursuits.
It's a constant assessment made by me as a driver and also my colleague who's giving the commentary. So if it gets to a point where we think it's dangerous, then we abort the pursuit because it's not worth putting ourselves, the suspects or anybody else at risk.
Approaching junction, stand by. Through red lights, stand by.
I mean, they're not bothered, are they? They're just wanting to get away from us.
Travelling at 60 miles an hour on busy roads, the cops have to be alert to sudden dangers.
Whoa. That car driver's pulled out unaware of what's happening. I think Paul's done well to avoid a collision.
Approaching a junction, stand by. It's gone straight across. Norman Avenue. Speed 60 miles per hour.
Even though we're not sort of directly behind him, he's still on the intention he's getting away, and that's where they make the mistakes.
Well, it's crashed.
Vehicle's crashed.
Your first thoughts are that somebody's seriously hurt, maybe even worse.
The driver is trapped inside his car.
And to watch it flip up in the air and then flip over on its roof is quite, well, it's not the nicest thing to see.
Charlie 41, suspect vehicle has crashed. It's on its roof. Can we have fire service and ambulance, please? Norman Avenue.
Yeah, well, keep your legs still.
Although he's turned his car upside down, the driver isn't badly hurt. His seatbelt has saved him from more serious injuries.
Hang on, you're all right.
Yeah, but you're talking, so you're alright, aren't you?
He's trapped in his seatbelt, and obviously we want to get him out of the vehicle. Reason being, some cars do set on fire.
It only takes a minute to safely get him out of the car.
We've got a walking wounded male driver who's failed to stop, but we'll need supervision just to attend the scene.
Where you're injured, lift your face.
Lift your head up. Lift your head up.
I think they're only one in it from first look.
Sit down. Sit down. Let me have a look at your nose.
He's hit his face, more than likely when airbags deployed. Obviously he's give it a good old crack.
Just lift it back a bit. Yeah, you've got a bit of a bust nose, haven't you?
Luckily this time there are no life-threatening injuries. So Paul begins to question him.
Was it your car?
It's not mine.
Your wife's car? He did his best, didn't he? But his best wasn't good enough. That's the difference between us and him. We're a bit more safer, and obviously we're trained to a level where we should be able to drive, fingers crossed.
Yeah. This is one of life's valuable lessons you've just learned.
The car isn't stolen, so for Paul and Lee, the question now is why was he so desperate to get away? In Bradford, the driver who failed to stop and then crashed his wife's car
It's crashed.
is going to hospital as a precaution.
People get thrown from vehicles, and that occurs when people don't wear the seatbelts, but whether you can say to his credit he had his seatbelt on, then that's probably what saved him having more serious injuries that he could have sustained if not been killed.
That's the line of trajectory. It's coming straight over here. Nose dived in and flipped him over onto the roof. Been lucky man.
Although he's off to hospital, it will be under police supervision.
Can I just tell him before you do your stuff? You're going to be under arrest. One for failing to stop at police and dangerous driving. And you're under caution that you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence.
He did learn a valuable lesson from that. Sure, when he went out in the vehicle, he wasn't expecting to be involved in that sort of incident and end up in hospital and then in the cells.
Before he goes, the cops want to run one last check.
Before you disappear, is he in a fit to do a breathalyser?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Feather, if you get it, he's all right to do it.
You can?
Yeah.
If we don't do this sort of thing at the roadside, then obviously we have to go through a different procedure at the hospital where we have to take blood. So it's always handy if we can actually get permission.
Make a nice seal around there, good deep breath, and just blow down that tube till I tell it to stop. Harder. Keep going. That loop. 0.
You managed to pass that with flying colours.
Cheers mate, thanks.
Any sort of incident involving a pursuit where there's a collision, somebody's injured, it's classed as a police injury collision. Therefore, usually a supervisor will attend the scene.
How old are you, Paul? 44.
Just Paul.
Yeah. 21.
Everybody gets breathalyzed, me included.
Pass.
0.
It's standard procedures, just to say I've been breathalyzed and there's no issues.
Chasing criminals in cars is often risky. 25 deaths occurred during police pursuits in 2012.
I'd say that's a total write-off by the look of that. I think we've done some, I think Lee's run it through and it's coming back no insurance on it as well, so doesn't help these people here who've had the wall damage and the car damage as a result of his driving, plus council for lamppost, so it's going to be getting some sort of big bill into.
The driver will be prosecuted for dangerous driving and no insurance. But Paul and Lee also want to find the bags they think he threw from the car.
Looking at video, it were right in Mouthford Junction. You can see it fly out, and I think with weather,
either somebody will have picked it up or cars driving all over it will have destroyed it, but we're making us way sort of at that direction, so we'll have a look as well.
We've driven back up to the location where we saw the drugs get thrown out of the car. We did ask another unit to check straight away, but they couldn't find them. But because we knew exactly where we'd seen the packages being thrown out, we've driven back up just to have a look.
He did admit ejecting the drugs out of the window. He claimed it were Class B drugs, i.e. cannabis. Can't find that, so we'll just go with what we've got. If somebody had seen those items in the road, they've either driven over them and it's disappeared, or they've picked them up and never to be seen again.
With no sign of the packages, Paul and Lee reflect on the night's high-speed pursuit.
You don't come to work to see people get injured or hurt. We're not robots, are we? We're human beings and we have feelings and so on. You know, I'd be sort of devastated that as a result of whatever, somebody had been killed.
Would you feel responsible? I don't know if I'd feel responsible, because we haven't made him do that, have we?
And no, I'd be angry that had happened. But, you know, I'm not in charge of his destiny. I'm in charge of mine and everybody else's in this car. If he wants to drive like a maniac, then it's my decision whether I continue that pursuit.
In between Neath and Port Talbot, not far from Swansea, traffic cops Steve Amos and Chris Jones are on patrol. They're looking for people who might be using this back route to avoid being noticed. Like the person ahead, whose manner of driving has given the game away.
Our attention was drawn to the vehicle in front, which was sharp swerving of the steering wheel. A lot of unlit sections of road and a lot of steep drops and sharp ends on that sort of section of road all the way down to the town of Port Talbot.
Yeah, can you show me code 2? Could I have a vehicle check, please?
Shocking.
Oh, the shop.
There's either something wrong with his car and he's fighting to keep control of it.
The brake lights, when the brake lights is flashing on and off all the time. Something drastically wrong with the car, isn't it?
He pulled over quite soon after the blue lights were activated, as soon as we came to the next small village and a safe location in order to stop him.
What? What?
The cops know immediately something is seriously wrong.
What have you taken tonight, mate? Nothing. Can I take your hands in your pockets? Turn around, please. Look at you, sir.
Do you like the med?
Tango X-ray 43, could you repeat again, please?
Do you have any illness?
What's your name?
Darren Thomas. Thomas. Is this your car?
Yeah.
I'm not used to the country roads, if that's when I've come out a bit far to give them a gap, right? But
Have you got a driving licence?
yeah.
All right?
Yeah, fine.
He was very unsteady on his feet. His head was moving around quite wildly.
All right, who are you?
The passenger being driven in the car is the man's son.
Get on the car. Right, keep him on there now, right?
Yeah.
Have you anything on you shouldn't have?
No.
Any sharps here?
Yeah.
Like you didn't really want me?
What's your father's name? Sorry? Darian what?
We've established it was the driver who was the owner of the car was in there, along with his 16-year-old son.
What anything to drink tonight?
No.
Couldn't smell alcohol in his breath or anything, so we searched him and found drugs.
Hands on the car.
Yes, sir.
Been hands in the back.
Hands on your back.
You're under arrest on suspicion of driving a motor vehicle on a road and whilst unfit through drink or drugs, and also being in possession of controlled substances. For a prompt and effective investigation of the matters, you don't have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned, so much you later lie in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand?
Quite unbelievable that he was able to drive in that condition.
And what's more, he drives for a living.
He told us he was a bus driver, which, you know, it's scary really to think that, you know, he could have been driving a bus the following morning when he was quite clearly impaired.
You put your hands on the car, please. Go on there, right? Look straight ahead.
Jump in there, right? Manage what you had as you get in. All right? Yeah.
There is a roadside test for drugs the cops can do, but in this case it really isn't necessary, nor is a breathalyzer test.
It'd be no benefit to be had because we do that when people who is possibly marginally over the limit, if they're so clearly intoxicated or impaired, he's going to be arrested anyway. I don't know, lost for words really, as a driving was absolutely appalling.
That was quite violent twitching, wasn't it?
Yeah. You could see when he got out the car, his senses and everything, he's got no coordination and he's completely off it, and that's, to be honest, is the worst drug-induced sort of condition of anyone I've seen driving a car. That's absolutely terrible. To expose his son to such risk, because the road he was travelling on as well, is you've got to have your wits about you to travel along it. At points on that road, there's a sheer drop of perhaps 100 feet.
The son is getting a lift home, while his dad's got a doctor's appointment at the police station in nearby Neath.
To actually think that whatever's going on in his head will make him think he's okay to drive is shocking.
All right. Okay.
At the police station in Neath, the bus driver on drugs has reached his final stop.
There we are, just round here.
Just in time for his medical.
Yeah, straight ahead.
When he was being booked in, he admitted to the custody sergeant that he had taken speed, which is a street name for amphetamine.
Another name is Whiz, for obvious reasons. The effects can last for 6 hours.
Thomas, right?
Yeah. Darian Thomas.
Still birth again, Darian? 13th to 970. 13th to 970, yeah.
As well as the amphetamine, cannabis was also found on the man.
The doctor carries out the impairment test. It's because they've got to satisfy themselves that the driver has a condition which may be due to drugs. So that gives them the power then, or us the power, to request a sample of blood.
Now, watch what I do and do it after me, okay?
The tests are designed to check coordination, balance and understanding. Good things to have when you're driving.
Okay, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think how long it takes for 30 seconds to pass.
Generally, he was unable to follow the doctor's simple instructions.
Am I supposed to put my foot down?
No. You're supposed to put your foot up like this. Yeah. I want you to look at it and I want you to count loudly for me. 1,000, 1,001, 1,002 until you come to 1,030. Yes? Okay. Go ahead.
I can't make balance.
Yeah. Go ahead. Look at it. Look at it and count loudly.
1,002, is that?
Yeah,
1,003, 1,004, 1,005.
Look at it.
1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 1,009.
Okay. Now, this time I want you to put your head back and I want you to close your eyes and I'll ask you to touch the tip of your nose with your index finger. Left. Put it down. Left. Right.
His finger to nose test, he was okay in that. He wasn't spot on because they just supposed to use the tip of their finger to touch the tip of their nose.
The next one's no walk in the park for him either.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He wasn't taking the right number of steps, or he wasn't doing heel toe. His feet were out of alignment.
Failure of the tests confirm he's under the influence of drugs. A blood test will now show exactly what he's taken.
The blood was taken by the doctor. It was analysed then by forensic scientists, and it came back with traces of amphetamine and cannabis. 0.3 micrograms in 100 millilitres of blood.
Luckily, the man only takes drugs recreationally, and not on weekdays, of course.
Yeah, but I didn't think I took that much. I just thought I was a bit sleepy coming down them dark lanes, and I just thought, I got to come all the way back down. And I thought, well, keep myself up a little bit till I get that.
But I mean, you failed all those tests, totally, completely failed them.
I didn't mean to, I obviously.
No.
It was some things were like if I used the right finger and things like that. Like I thought he meant something else. And I'm nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Are you addicted?
Huh? No, it's just on the weekends. Go out with my mates on the weekend and it's the end of that.
Unluckily for the man, his need for speed, or working man's cocaine, is going to cost him his job as a bus driver. A school bus driver.
Fine, yeah, he can go back to his house.
Stated that he carried out school runs, so driving children to school, which is quite alarming.
Equally alarming is the fact that it's not even the weekend at all.
So have a look at yourself and think about the responsibility you got, and you know what I mean?
It was on a weekday when we arrested him, and he stated that he had work the next morning. So within hours of that incident happening, if we hadn't have stopped him, he would have been at work the next morning taking children to school.
South Wales police deal with more than 100 drug crimes every week, with the traffic cops coming across their fair share of them. On the streets, they know the telltale signs to look out for, like rented cars being driven by shady-looking characters at 2 in the morning.
It was a brand new plate Skoda Octavia. It's just a nice new car. The 3 lads driving it didn't fit the car and didn't fit the area for that time of night.
Thank you, 3938 Mercia Road, it's Alpha Echo 08, Juliet Kilo Mike.
Stolen, it's a Skoda Octavia Grey.
Whilst we were sort of looking at it, the vehicle just pulled to the curbside and the driver got out.
Yeah. What's the insurance?
We were thinking, what's this about then? And he approached our vehicle, we got out to speak to him, and he went from there.
You're ragging around in it, somebody with clutches thinking on it.
And we realised that we were dealing with someone who perhaps didn't like the police.
Do what I want to do. Oh, there we are then. Step off the road then. Just while I'm here, I don't need to get run over, do I?
Is your licence in here as well, buddy?
Yeah.
Is your licence in here as well, fella? Is your Sorry?
It's all above board and efficient.
Right, is your licence in here, that's what I'm asking?
It's all above board and efficient.
Questions were asked, whose car is it, is your own car, etc, etc. And he said, it's a rented car, here's my rental agreement.
Sit tight. No, this fella here for now, okay? Sit tight. Watch yourself on the door, Jane. Okay, mate. Got anything in your pockets you shouldn't have now?
No.
Okay. Where are you living now?
PC Lightfield's come across one of the passengers before.
He's a prolific car thief. Years ago, he was a busy lad in relation to auto crime, drug use, burglary. I thought, they're up to no good.
The driver's up to no good, right under the cops' noses.
He was acting a bit furtively, spinning around, and I was like, look, just face the wall, keep your hands out of your pockets where I can see him. And as he faced the wall, I noticed that he took his hand out of his pocket, and he put his hands, both hands, on the wall, as if to lean on the wall.
I'll disqualify. You been disqualified in the past, or what?
You been disqualified in the past?
As he put his hands on the wall, and I was looking at him, his hand opened, and out dropped this packet.
PC Lightfield hasn't missed the trick this time.
He was very, very discreet in the way in which he did it.
And he's got one of his own.
Thought to myself, right, we'll leave that there for 2 seconds, because the last thing I want to do now is lean over the wall and pick that up, and he's legging it down the road.
Okay, mate, at this point in time, you're under arrest, suspicion of possession of controlled substances. Okay, put your arm behind your back.
Yeah?
Come here.
What?
Stand still.
What the hell for?
For that item there, okay, mate?
That's nothing to do
Just
with me,
dropped
mate.
it out of your pocket.
That has nothing to do with me, mate. Look at me now, officer. That has nothing to do with me.
Listen to me.
Can you prove it? Concrete evidence? But you take my hand off
Put your other arm behind your back.
That has nothing to do with me.
Put your other arm behind your back, thank you very much.
But I don't think he thought, perhaps, that we were going to search him. I don't think, until the point where I had said, you're going to be searched now, can you put your hands out, take your hands out of your pockets. I think the penny dropped for him, and he thought, oh, hang on a minute. And that was the point where he decided to try to get rid of it,
The man isn't happy. He's alleging he's been framed.
Do you want to set me up?
Just chuck this.
Just my arms like that again. And I'll be pressing charges.
Take a seat in here then, tidy.
Listen, mate, I pay tax to you, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm a law-abiding citizen, yeah?
Fine. Take a seat in there. As soon as you jump in, I'll let go of the handcuffs then. Thank you very much. Okay, as I was searching him there, he's with his left hand taken that out of his pocket and thrown over the wall. So he's under arrest for that matter at the moment.
Can you take his off now or?
Yeah, not until you get to custody, mate.
What do you mean to get to custody? There's nothing to do with me, mate. I'm gonna laugh.
What's his details, Da? What's his details?
Hey.
Sorry?
You mad you are, mate? That's fucking you off your box. Class A, you're off your fucking head, mate.
Crack is, he's been arrested on suspicion of possession of a Class A drug, okay?
Right.
Because of the fact he's in the car with you guys, or you're in the car with him, so the vehicle's going to be searched and you guys are going to be searched as well.
That's not a problem, it's just I don't want to
Before
be
we
standing
start,
in Cardiff because I live in the bottom.
before we start, have either of you got anything on you shouldn't have in terms of controlled drugs, no? Okay.
There was nothing in the car to suggest they were going to do anything in terms of, there was no tools in the car, there was no, all the things you associate with people going to break into cars, houses, etc. But there was some empty bags by the driver's side, I think in the door pocket again. But there weren't even traces. You knew something had been in there, but there was not enough trace of anything in there.
Just set me up, you, what do I?
Yes,
Sorry, what the Oh. Trying to set me up, you? Officer?
More person checks when you're ready for the passengers in the vehicle.
Hello, officer? Are you listening to me?
Yeah, I'm not going to. I'll speak to you now when we get up to the custody suite, alright? Sit tight.
Can you take his off, please, bed?
We'll take him off now when we get up the cells, alright?
Fine, bells.
Hangar Mike 11, W1.
Idiot.
They're just looking for a van to convey one.
I haven't done fuck all wrong, officer, right? Hey!
Yeah,
you taking a piss or what?
I could hear everything he was saying because the passenger window was open.
You're rude, you are, but let me tell you. I'm going to press charges against you, mate. You think you're being clever, do you or what? You watch. It's alright, mate. It's alright, officer. I said, you think you're being smart, do you? Trying to set me up, yeah?
Sorry?
You're off your head, mate.
I got better things to do than set people up, okay? I saw you with my eyes, but I wanted to finish the search with you before I picked the item up.
Say it again, sorry?
Okay, thank you very much.
You can say whatever you want, mate. You're off your head.
He was basically alleging that I'd planted the drugs on him.
Sit tight.
You're off your head, you are, bud. So you're ignorant fucker, you are now. Hey, think you're better than everyone else, do you or what? Cut above the rest? Cut above the rest, is it, mate? Fucking snotty fucker.
Bit of abuse coming my way, which doesn't bother me.
I was only picking my girlfriend up.
Fine.
Yeah. That's alright, isn't it?
It's fine.
Yeah, well, what you want about it? We found paraphernalia or bullshit of mine. It's my word against you, is.
He bumped his gums in the back of the car for about 10 minutes.
The cops suspect the three men have been dealing drugs, and there might be some more to be found.
Jamie may have gear on him, but if he's got it on, he may be doing his drugs.
Well, coming for structures,
he's got to have it big time. He's off his face in it.
Yeah.
I don't know who the front seat passenger is.
Dennis from New Police saying, if I bring them all in.
Well, we get a van, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe a case of doing a search in the back of the van with if he's all clear.
Yeah.
Our suspicions were that if we found nothing in the car, that potentially it was concealed elsewhere about their person. People who have a habit and are perhaps crack, heroin, amphet, they'll conceal that where perhaps we don't want to look.
There's one in the car there, the driver, who's in for possession of Class C. The back passenger is James. Buzz obviously knows him. Says he got a form for hiding and stuff on his crotch. So he might do a quick search in the back of the van before we stick Chummy in to go to Rumney.
Okay. The passengers are going to be searched thoroughly.
He's up and down.
Yeah.
Just stand by the cars. There's no child lock on. He's cuffed to the rear. But I just want to do a search with Jamie first of all. Jamie.
I'm only holding you because you look like you run faster than I can.
Take a beer in a minute. Okay.
Takes his clothes off and takes his underpants down and bends over because you've got to make sure nothing's been put in places where things shouldn't be put.
Okay, mate. Stop looking at your drugs. Hang on. Whoa. Stop looking at in your drugs. In there? Yeah. Nothing in there, is it? No.
And it's not nice, but obviously it's a means to an end, so you try and get it done as quickly and as gentlemanly as you like.
The two men are clean, they can go. But the driver, who tried to hide the drugs over the wall, is going to the police station, where he'll be strip searched.
What a surprise. Okay.
Same as it wasn't nothing initially.
Sit tight.
He got out of the car, he went to the van, and he still carried on bumping his gums.
While the driver bumps his gums all the way to the police station, PC Hanks is relieving him of his rented Skoda and his friends.
The options were, we either leave those two guys down there walking the streets, or get them out of the area and drop outside the police station.
In Cardiff, the man found with the small bag of white powder is also being booked in. He still reckons he's being stitched up.
Well, thank you.
And then he got to the cells, and he carried on again there. And then he said the same things in the cells that he'd said in the car, you know, and then he wound the custody sergeant up a little bit.
Would you like it? Would you like it?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Would you like it? All right. So.
You take him down, see him in the cell.
Come on.
The sergeant's had enough. He's giving the man a choice: cooperate or go straight to a cell.
Assumption, yes. I think assumption in diabolical.
Now he's got no choice. He's going to be forcibly strip searched.
Sit down by there for us, fella.
Speak of it, please.
Take a seat by there. Sit down.
Don't push me about that. You are pushing me, mate. Yeah, you put your hands on, yeah?
Sit yourself down. We'll take a seat. He was a bit boisterous, and I think he just threw his clothes off. Just want to check down your trousers now, mate. Bend over. Bend over. I'm not going to touch you, mate. Just bend over. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Lovely. Not really. See you back.
He's got nothing down there that shouldn't be there.
When you calm down, they'll speak to you.
As you can hear, he's up and down, so he's obviously on some sort of substance now. Because one minute he's nice and calm and quiet, and the next minute he's off, mouthing off and performing. It's not an everyday event for me. He's just trying it on. He was interviewed in the morning in relation to the small bag of white powder that was found, and he denied that was his. He was bailed pending the drugs being sent off to the lab for analysis, and the result came back that it was indeed amphet.
The man who thought the law was diabolical never turned up for his day in court. But he was eventually detained trying to board a plane for Denmark.